Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into another JD channel video in which I'm in my dad's BMW F10 and I get a message come in. It says to replace remote control battery, which when you start it up you're going to see there's a light. Turn off the music so I don't get copyrighted. And it also tells you, I guess, when the last service was done. That's kind of interesting. So replace control battery. So today I went to Home Depot and I got a battery, because unlike the newer, well, not even newer, some of the other BMs have a slot like under here around where the push button is to recharge the battery, but the F10 apparently doesn't. They make you change the battery, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna change the battery and then I'll take a video of the car itself. Stay tuned. Alright, which to swap the battery, which probably is similar to the newer, some of the newer BMs. You take the remote and then you take out the metal key. Sorry if it's moving. There's a metal key in here. You press this button and then it'll pull right out. See here, one hand is going to be interesting. Oh, crud. Sorry. You basically just pull it out. You press this button and then the key will pull out. And this is obviously used if you get locked out, if your battery remote doesn't work, or if you need to get in somehow. I don't remember if the trunk has a keyhole, but if it does, this would probably be able to get into it. See, a little longer than it should. Let me put this. Alright, let's just press, and then the key will come out. Now, underneath here, see if I could turn on the flash. So right there, as you can see, in this portion right here, it's kind of a clip you can press up. You take a really small screwdriver, or probably like a paper clip will even work, and you press it up and it'll pop out. Let me just, this right here, hold this somehow. Let me put down a bottle of water. Press this piece, push it up, it'll pop out. Really dirty in there. Okay, so you take the screwdriver and put it into the slot. Just be careful not to really scratch anything. We turn on the light to get, see, so it's focusing. Using my phone camera. And you just pop it out like so. Kind of angle it to get it to fall out. And there we are. Now we're going to put the new battery into the key. Let me just open this up. And like before, I said that this is the 2450. Let me see if I can turn off the light now, because I think I have adequate lighting. Put it back in, slide it in. This is a very thick battery. Make sure it's flush in there. Yeah, this is a lot thicker than I thought it would be. Old batteries are a lot smaller in cars. Slide it in, put the lid back on. Lid, the front goes in first, and then it snaps in. So there's a little groove on this. Snaps in. Make sure it lines up, obviously, so you don't crack it. Snaps in. Put the metal key in, and now when I start it, it should no longer say replace battery. Hold on, I'll slide the key in. One-handed, very interesting, but trying to do it where I can video it. Darn it. But yeah, obviously they should take you about a minute or so to do. Take it a little longer because I do one hand and try to video it at the same time. I just line up that key. It'll slide in. So slide in. It goes into the slot. Slide in. Key ring out of the way. Snap. And there we go. Now we're going to go try to start it and make sure that it doesn't say replace key battery. Alright, I have the key with the new battery. Now when I start it, let's see if it tells me to replace the battery or not. Okay, service due, fasten seatbelts. Alright, nothing about the checking of the key. Alright, so that's success. So the new battery's working. Sucks there's no place to charge it. You can put it in here, but they used to have one right here in the bottom. Some have the start stop underneath here, but since this is a 211, I guess that there is none. So, alright, let's go on to the rest of the video. Alright, let's hit the brake and go start it up. Alright, start button. Alright. I drive. And let out the mirrors. Press the button to let them unfold. So actually, this one's actually pretty well equipped, so it has a lot of the features, including the navigation, which I guess now isn't relevant, but let's see. And the backup sensors. So press the button to lower the handbrake. And let the brake go down. It says electronic handbrake. Put the seatbelt on. Forgetting that. And then once I hit that, it'll turn on the camera. Alright, so to shift, you press this button on the right, put in neutral, and then put it in reverse. The backup sensors go on, and it has front and rear backup sensors. Okay. It's nice and quiet in here. Silky smooth inline 6. Doesn't even need to rev that high to get it to move. See, it's staying at less than 2,000. Right smooth actually, even with the 19s. This one, which I'll show you in a little bit, came with the factory option 19s. Wasn't our choice, but it was the car available, especially for the price. It's not bad. Has some options we could have done without, but makes things interesting. And I'll show you in a little bit as soon as we come to a stop at their next destination. Alright, so in the interior you've got the famous iDrive that BMW is known for. Some people don't like it and some people do. Let me see if I can turn on the map light. That didn't really do anything. Turn on the big one. Here are the features, of course. You got your menu so you can go through the different options. You rotate the mouse to go through the selections. Vehicle info will tell you about the car. You go vehicle status, it'll give you the tire pressure as well as the engine oil level. Right now, since the car's not on, it's not going to give it to me. If you have any faults here, like a little exclamation point that might appear here, it'll tell you what it's for here. Right now it's saying the systems are okay. You push this way to go back to the previous menu, push it back again. See what else we got here. We got features like the owner's manual. Select the option and it'll tell you a little bit about that car. You can even do it based on a picture mode. So if you do search by picture, I'll show you pictures of the car and you select that area. It'll give you topics in that area like transporting, towing, etc. for the front, and then everything that's applicable for it. Quick reference guide. This usually is paper, but I guess in 2011 they made it all digital. So you click this and it'll give you popular topics and give you information about the car, as well as a trip computer will give you the current, basically details like how far you've gone on this tank, as well as, of course, speed, average speed. Well, it's been going pretty slow because it doesn't drive that much. How long the last journey or recently you've been driving. You can tell it to automatically reset or reset yourself, which my dad apparently resets himself. Let's see, and what else we got here? And then, of course, you can link your phone via Bluetooth. You hit the Bluetooth menu and it'll give you pairing options. Let's see, recent and dialed numbers. Navi was standard on this model. You can enter it. It's not a touchscreen Navi obviously on here, but you can easily input the destination via the iDrive. Some lovely parking sensors to get the car in. And then move in the mirrors. Not too many people listen to these, but since this is a big car, gotta get as close as I can into the garage. Do neutral, hold the parking brake, the brake. The red light tells you it's the parking brake's on, put it in park, and turn off the vehicle. Go over more details. To access the menu, you hit the accept button by pressing down. This is pretty much a mouse. I mean, you can go up, down, turn. Turning is easier because it seems more efficient. Hazard button in the locks. So let me hit this button here to show all the details of the climate control. Climate control is interesting because, so for the climate control, let me show you the details of this. There is this button that controls where the fan points. It's actually independent on both sides. So the driver can have the fan facing towards their face, whereas the passenger could have it on their feet, and it doesn't disturb the other. As well as the temperature. You could be hot. If, say, you run hot, you can turn it down to become colder on your side, or the driver's side, and then the passenger side can increase it, so then at least you don't disturb, like, you can be hot on the passenger side and then cool on the driver's side. I know this is a new technology in most cases for the dual zone, but the independent fan pointing, now that's interesting. The rear, oddly, does not have it. The X5, you can have independent rear seats, where it has heated seats in the back. This has heated seats on both sides, and obviously the lights will indicate how strong the heat's going to blow. You turn off the car. You have your cup holders with a lighter in here for power outlets, as well as a keeper. You can put the key in here, but it doesn't fit snugly in there and you don't want to forget it. And then, of course, your keeper in here in the middle, which opens with both sides, has a lighter in there in the middle. Let's see if I can turn on the interior lights. Okay, no. There you go. Give it a little bit better lighting. And to open the sunroof, it doesn't have the slider like standard. You tap on it once. Well, you tap on it when the car is on, I guess, in the on position. You tap on the sunroof, the shade will move, and open this gigantic sunroof. They give me a little more lighting for this. And Dad just keeps his pens and the Bluetooth in there. Then the passenger airbag warning lights on the top, as well as an SOS Sunroof controls, your map lights, independent, and of course with the shifter. I showed you in the earlier part how to shift through. Yeah, the iDrive has a lot of functions. Address book you can keep in here, and then of course the radio. Office is more like contact list. BMW assist you can access this way. I'm not going to select that just in case something happens. Then of course your different settings like speed, date and time. Lighting is interesting because you can do the triple blink where if you set that option, which my dad set it, you tap on this very lightly, the turn signal stalk, and it'll blink 3 times. As well as the welcome lighting, of course, everything will light up when you unlock the car, which I'll show in a little bit. Daytime running lights, the lights will run when the car's on, like say the rings on the outside, the halos as some people call it. Let's go into the rear now, turn off the controls. In this car, we didn't obviously own this first, but it seems like the owner got the self-closing door, so you close a little, and if you don't close enough, it'll just close itself. Let's go into the rear of the vehicle. So it has the rear map lights, and that's pretty much like it usually would be on the C-pillars, but this one's in the front. That's not bad. Turn this off because that's on both sides. Has the rear sunshades, which these manually can be removed. There's also one for the little pocket. Let's see here, what else we got here. In the rear we also have the little cubby just like the front, and your passenger cup holders are located here. You press a button and it opens. Actually, let's turn the light on just to show what it looks like. You press a button and it will open up. It's not. It's a nice feature to have. Your seats, obviously, as you can see in the front, have active restraints as well as the rear. This, in the event of an accident, will protect the head of the driver and passenger and ensure, obviously, that they're well protected. That's why they have these weird-looking seats. Front seats aren't the sport seats, but they do. Well, there's a Taco Bell bag there. They do actually support the person very well, and it does have memory seats. Let's go back to the front. So the memory seats of the car are on the door card. This will help you set which function to set a memory per key, so each key would be able to adapt to the user for that one. Then of course you have your LCM, which is the light control unit. You get set to automatic headlights for this, and it'll basically turn on when you start the car or when it gets dark. Fog lights, parking lights, etc. And then the rheostat that makes the gauges brighter. Electronic tilt for the steering wheel. Not working right now because the car's off. Then the onboard computer. And the leather pointed seats, as I said earlier. Gonna move this in a little forward. Let's close the door. See, it closes itself because it has the soft closing doors. This also is equipped with the automatic opening trunk, which kind of stinks because we're not really into that feature, because you'd have to rely on opening and closing it by that method, otherwise you'll break the mechanism. The battery charger, I'm going to go plug this in a second because this car always is on the maintainer when it's in here. And then the factory option 19s. We thought these were aftermarket wheels on the run flats, but they actually came as an option when we saw in the BMW catalog. A nicely well equipped car, with the exception of they didn't get the HIDs, which is weird. I would have gotten the HIDs at least and get the lighting package, because it has pretty much everything. Because look, you can lock the trunk here, and then to close it, you press the button and it closes. It has a soft. It's probably part of the soft closing option, but it's decent. And the automatic headlights on, so when the car started, It turns on the lights when it's dark. And this also has the headlight washers, which were also an option. So basically a function on the wipers, you press it and then you'll also wash the headlights. Let me turn this off. You can go pop the hood and go over the details in here while I connect the maintainer. Okay, open the hood. There's the trunk release down there, just like some of the other BMs. Let's try it actually. Yeah, see, since it has the electric one, hear it open. Let's see if it'll close. Okay, so it'll just open. I gotta close it myself, I guess. Little keeper here. Nice. Just keep other cables. Turn off the automatic because this car isn't used that often. For a car of its size, it amazingly has a great turning radius. This car is huge, but turning a U-turn, you could pretty much do it at the first try instead of like some cars you kind of go out a little to the opposite side and then make a large U-turn. This actually isn't bad. I'm trying to figure out why this camera looks like it's flickering. I'm hoping it's not in the actual video. It looks like it might be. Hopefully not.